Hello again, my dear viewers. I'm back again as I have promised. Finally, I've been able to find some free time to produce for you yet another video exploring founders' techniques. Today I'm presenting for you a Dai Gokkyo technique. Hopefully you will find it valuable and enjoyable, so please enjoy watching. Dai Gokkyo translates as the Great Fifth Teaching. Originally, in the old days, Gokkyo, or rather Gokkyo, was not a single principle or technique, but rather a set of techniques based on Gokkyo principles. The same holds true for Ikkyo through Yonkyo as well. So Gokkyo was a more advanced set of techniques taught to practitioners before receiving basic transmission scroll, Yiden Mokroku. In Aikijujutsu, Gokkyo set includes things like finger control techniques, knife, stick and sword disarming, multiple persons attack techniques, defense techniques with one arm. And then amongst those, there are a group of techniques of reverse elbow control. And that is what we know and practice as Dai Gokkyo. It is a more advanced technique, primarily designed to disarm your attacker wielding a knife or other weapons. Therefore, there are a limited number of Dai Gokkyo techniques, and those are practiced primarily from Shomenuchi, Yokomenuchi and Tsuki attacks, as these in reality are all weapon attacks. Other, more advanced variations from Gokkyo set of techniques, as it is practiced in Aikijujutsu, we learn at more advanced stages of Aikido training. But we exclude from practicing things like finger locks or one-armed self-defense techniques. So in Aikido, when we talk about Gokkyo, we normally mean the techniques of reversing the elbow and pinning your attacker to the ground, and then disarming him. In Founders 1938 Manual Budo, this technique is depicted 2 times. First as technique number 13, and then as a technique number 34, under Knife Attacks chapter. Not surprisingly, what I found is that still shots of Gokkyo technique number 13 being incorrectly organized in the manual. This was also noticed by the translator of the book, Professor John Stevens, and corrected into this sequence, excluding this shot from the sequence. I must note, this is more correct way. This fits description and photographs more accurately. But for today's program, I would like to recreate Dai Gokkyo technique not directly from the manual, but from the outtakes of Budo photo session. We have quite a few of these available. So let's start. Firstly, we have this picture, found in one of Professor John Stevens' books. Author has placed this shot next to Sankyo picture outtake, but this is incorrect. Early in my Budo and manual research, I was able to find a correct match for this shot. This is definitely not Sankyo sequence, but the one of Dai Gokkyo. Luckily, pictures are of fine quality, so we can ascertain that Uke is standing in exact same place in the dojo. These 2 shots are definitely sequential. It seems that we have seen this composition somewhere else. That's right. It is there, found in original order of Dai Gokkyo sequence in Budo manual. Now, the middle segment is from different Dai Gokkyo technique, Yokomenuchi Gokkyo, but let's leave it aside for now. But the first and last shot are sequential, just as we have ascertained in outtakes example. So we definitely have 2 sequential shots of Dai Gokkyo technique. The problem is we need to determine the correct initial attack, as we are missing some extra pictures. Let's analyze these shots in detail. This is quite unusual position, or rather transitional movement, and I couldn't find any examples of modern practitioners practicing it in this way. That is, gripping opponent's elbow with one arm, while cutting with tagetana at the elbow with the other one. After analyzing it well, I came up with most plausible solution for this. This has to be transitional position from Shomenuchi attack, I cannot find better explanation than this. Well, there is definitely Dai Gokkyo technique directly from Shomenuchi attack, as we can see in technique number 34. But what we are missing in this sequence is this transitional action. I believe combining these two sequences together, we get a complete technical sequence. You see, there is a problem of switching to Gokkyo from overhead Shomenuchi. Attack is hand, holding the knife is out of your reach. Now, if you try to reach it while leaning forward, you will end up balancing on your front foot, sacrificing your balance. Then again, if you try to pull his arm holding the knife directly, it's too unpredictable. You might get cut. So for safer transitioning to Gokkyo, you need to control his elbow with your tagatana like this. From here, you can more safely switch to Dai Gokkyo grip. As an extra proof, we see that Dai-to-Ryu practitioners do this tagatana to elbow control in Shomenuchi attacks. Now let's inspect the other image. This is the most important shot, as we don't have any pictures of Dai Gokkyo performed by the founder other than the ones from Buddha manual. This shot is the key to understanding authentic Gokkyo technique. Please pay attention to Osensei's footwork. It would seem that founder is doing tenkan motion or turning around as in Ikiura, like most modern practitioners do it. But that is not the case. Instead of turning his right foot behind, as it would be normal for tenkan motion, founder thrust his right leg forward, pulling and unbalancing his uke completely, and making him fall down flat on the ground. This is authentic way of doing Dai Gokkyo technique, the founder's way. Luckily, also there is a short clip of founder demonstrating Dai Gokkyo taken from 1935 film called Aikido, executed from Shomenuchi. Beyond doubt, this is the same Gokkyo, only demonstrated from Suwarewaza position. What is important to understand is that Dai Gokkyo is not Aikyo. It works on different principles. Most teachers teach Gokkyo exactly like Ikkyo, with the only difference being the method of holding opponent's wrist, that is, from below instead of from above. This is not right. There's a reason why this technique has its number, name, and place in basic Aikido curriculum. It works on different principles than the Ikkyo. It's not simply a matter of holding the wrist from above or below what makes it into a Dai Gokkyo technique. Now, there's Dai Gokkyo Moto as well, but let's leave it aside for another time. So simply speaking, if Dai Ikkyo is about pushing and cutting, Dai Gokkyo is about stretching and pulling. What I'm saying is, what my research clearly suggests is that doing Gokkyo in Ikkyo manner is incorrect. Gokkyo is performed like this. There's no turning all the way around as in Ikkyo. Once again, it's not a matter of holding the wrist from above or below what makes it into a Dai Gokkyo. Gokkyo principle is straightening and reversing the elbow and then pulling down to the ground. Very few teachers has learned it accurately without mixing it with Daikyo principles. As an extra proof, there is Tadashi Abe Sensei's manual. There Sensei demonstrates Dai Gokkyo, Mote and Ura in the same manner as I have recreated. That is, not turning around as in Ikkyo-ura, but turning and thrusting forward for Dai Gokkyo-ura. The only difference is that Abe Sensei does not do this transition for safer switch to Dai Gokkyo. Sensei leans forward to take the wrist. Some other teachers do it by catching the arm midway, but it is more dangerous method to allow strike to gain momentum. He might overpower you, or you might injure your thumb this way. You should time your entry, preventing his strike to gain downward momentum. So this is my recreation of Dai Gokkyo technique as it was practiced by the founder himself. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I still have at least one technique to cover in my Budo 1938 manual presentation project. That's Aikinage technique. Hopefully I will be able to produce it by the start of the new year. So for now, please enjoy your training. Until the next time, thank you for watching.